The British pound extended its recent rally, continuing with the bullish tone, following today's BOE meeting and some less negative news, we'll call it, out of Brexit world. So basically what we've seen here is since early September, we've seen a rally down near 120 up to 126. Last time we saw a rally that big, you got to go back to January, and we saw a rally from 126 up to 132. So it's kind of a little mirroring image at a lower level. And could things take off if it gets through 126, which would be a significant move? Yes, it can, but there are going to be some obstacles in along the way that are likely going to keep the pound from really ascending too quickly. Obviously, the two key factors here are going to be monetary policy as well as Brexit. Those are the two things that I think that are driving the pound. And right now, it could be more about the European monetary policy as opposed to the English monetary policy that is aiding some of this rally. And if you look at what the Bank of England did today, they didn't do what our Fed did, is they kept rates steady. They want to continue to stay the course. They want to raise rates at some point down the line. Obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon, especially with growth expectations now being lowered. But essentially, they want to wait and see how Brexit pans out. And I think from a macro standpoint, there's been a lot of fear priced into the market. I think a lot of other global central banks have made their monetary policy a lot easier to possibly help deal with any ripple effects from a no-deal Brexit. And likewise, I think the Bank of England wants to wait and see and obviously maybe give politicians a reason to maybe make this work sooner than later. Obviously, October 31st is coming, as was March 29th, and later on in June we had another deadline. This will be the third, but I think at some point we have to get this through. And if you want to look at the biggest reason why the pound has been rallying today, not necessarily going back over the last 3 weeks, but today, yes, the politicians got together and said they're going to get this done. Well, I think that brought a little bit of hope to the market and certainly helped bid the pound. You watch the pound bid not only against the dollar, but against the euro. And I think at this point, that is a hope trade and maybe one that could build some momentum. But ultimately, it will be a very short-term hope trade unless we can get some kind of deal done. Because a no-deal Brexit really leaves way too many questions and answers. The pound has obviously been dwindling in the last year or so, or actually in the last, call it 6 months ahead of the September rally, really based on the fact that they don't have a clear plan. And maybe all this monetary policy help, all this negative global growth is going to come to for a big head along with a no-deal Brexit, which would certainly mess things up. So at some point, Brexit positive news along with maybe some non-dovish tone from the Bank of England are going to help, but ultimately we need to see some reality and some resolution. We have not seen that yet. I think a trade above 126 suggests that there is more hopeful expectation. We aren't quite there yet, but certainly in the days and weeks ahead of the October 31st deadline, we could see the market push above that 126 line. I think that would be a sign that a Brexit deal could be at hand. We're not there yet. But certainly the hope that we're hearing from politicians is, and today's announcement from the Bank of England suggests that they want to wait and see. And similar to our Fed, they're probably going to end up cutting before the end of the year.